Hey Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Today, that's right, time for the rant and TED talk about Cavern of Souls inside this thing. So, what we're going to talk about today, number of mythics pulled in the boxes I opened and the percentages of which I pulled them. So, math time. So, before we get started, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, subscription button right about here. Down in the description, you'll see that there's some links to the eBay store, TCG player, Patreon if you're feeling froggy. My email's in there. Reach out and say, hey. And all kinds of other good stuff. If you're watching on Rumble, hey, thanks a lot. Don't forget to hit the like button, wherever the hell it is. So, now that's out of the way, let's have a serious conversation about some shenanigans I think that Wizards has been pulling more and more blatantly lately. I think it really started back with Jeweled Lotus in Commander Legends. When Jeweled Lotus, people are saying, oh, it's $25, $30 card, have not, what have you. But it ended up being a mythic that was not very easily pullable. Basically meaning, to pull a Jeweled Lotus, you had to open a case and you might find one. I opened 6 boxes, I believe, of Commander's Legends. You can check the videos. They're in there somewhere. They're not on Rumble. They're on YouTube. Sorry, guys. But I had 1 Jeweled Lotus and 1 foil Jeweled Lotus in 6 boxes. I thought that was a real cool hit. I thought it was really good. I expected at least 1 to 2 Jeweled Lotuses. I thought that'd be okay. But here's the thing. As I look at it now, with the Cavern of Souls issue, where, for example, I got 2 Jeweled Lotuses in 6 boxes. I thought that was okay. And that is okay. But I think what we've matured into now inside this environment is a fact where Wizards of the Coast knows they're running out of good reprints. And because of that, when they make reprints now, even when they put them in at mythic level, they're not on the sheet like normal mythic cards. Does that make sense? So let's say a mythic card happens once every 50 packs. Well, I believe that the way the mapping is on the sheet, the Cavern of Souls mythic doesn't happen once every 50. I think it happens once every 150, as an example, because it's seriously diminished returns on that mythic card. Now, normally, I wouldn't complain too much about it, but as I went through and did this video and counted other mythics that were reprints that were good mythics and had dollar value, I noticed reprinted mythics had a lower rate of pull than mythics that were not reprinted. So, what does that mean? Well, for one, it could be nothing, could be a coincidence. That's easy math. However, let's remember that if mythic's pulled on a lower rate and it's a mythic that they know is good and it's a reprinted mythic, and you obviously get mythics that have never been printed before more often, that tells me they don't understand the secondary market. Therefore, they're giving you mythics they think might not be good, and keeping those that they know are good for reprints later at a lower amount to keep not only the dollar amount high on the secondary market, but their availability to be reprinted way more often. So, here's what I mean by that. So let's just take a look. Now, remind you, we opened 12 draft boxes, 2 cases, a case of set boosters, which is 6 set boosters, and a case of collector boosters, which is 6 collector boosters. So 24 no, wait, hang on. No, 6 and 6, and then 6 and 6. Yeah, 24 boxes. Out of 24 boxes, this is how many Cavern of Souls I got. And one came out of a set box, and the other 2 came out of draft boxes. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Not one in the collector box. Pretty weird, right? Now, as we move on, put those down. Let's move on to mythics that are newer mythics, like this one. Notice how many we have. Another new mythic. Now, this one's only 5, but this is one that everybody thought would be expensive and has actually lost some monetary value. We have the next one. This is all the same card, just different variants. The next Mythic, same thing. We have the Sun's Avatar. This one I think could have been spec'd on because of Commander, which might be a little lighter. We have Kond. You know, we got 6. Shahili. Go to the Sovereign. Quite a few. Veto. Quite a few. The Deepest Betrayer here. Quite a few. Bloodletter. Now, something I want to talk about the Bloodletter. It's actually quite a lot, but if you look at what this card does, it has the same effect as like Exquisite Blood, which is already a high dollar card, except it's on a this is on a creature. So it's kind of interesting how we have a lot, but still a low enough amount that did they spec on it? Did they not? Hard to say. But if you look at the different printings, I have just enough from each printing from the sheet. Does that make sense? It's really weird. We have the Enigma Jewel, quite a few. We have the blue Ogier, quite a few. The expensive white Ogier, only 4. Resplendent Angel, reprint, only 4. Weird, huh? Expensive reprinted card, only 4, much like Cavern of Souls. And then we have the new Blood Horde Dragon, which is really easy to see that dragons we don't get very many dragons when they get printed because everybody seems to like them. So we got 5, which I thought was kind of weird. The red Ogier, we got, Jesus, so many. Haughty. The new Galta, amazingly, we only got 4. But still, we got 4, which means it's a play set, even though they're different arts. But again, Galta's another, this Galta is not a reprint, but it is a Galta. And it also says, hands on the battlefield, yada, yada, yada. It does things that we know is important. The green Ogier. And then the Skullport Nexus, just a ton. So, what does this mean in the long run? So, I did the math down here at the bottom. There are a total of 45 rares available. Now, this includes different printings. There's 22 total mythics. I'm sorry, this is mythics, not rares. 22 total mythics. There are 12 more that are showcased. There are 2 that are extended and 9 that are borderless. For a total of 45 total. Of that, from 24 boxes, I got 148. Now, when it comes to Cavern of Souls, I got 1 Cavern of Souls out of every 49.3, if we round down, say 49. Out of every 49 mythics I pulled, I found 1 Cavern of Souls. That is a 2% pull rate for that card. And if you look here, I made a list of the number of mythics and how many times each mythic had that many cards. So 1 mythic, 2 mythic, 3 mythics, 4 mythics, 5, so forth and so on, all the way up to 11. We had 1 mythic we got 3 mythics of. And guess what? That's Cavern of Souls. Other than Cavern of Souls, every other mythic we got 4 or more. Here we got 4. Obviously, that's the Resplendent Angels, one of them. And I forget what the other 2 were. We just went through them. But then we have 4 different mythics at 5, 2 at 6, 4 at 7, 3 at 8, 2 at 9, 2 at 10, and 1 at 11. So, I find it odd that down here, the lowest amount of mythics that I got, between 3 to 4, were all reprint cards, or 50% of that was a reprint card. I.e. Resplendent Angel, Galta, Cavern of Souls, and I forget what the other one was. But anyway, I find that very weird. Now, mind you, if you go through here and do the math on all this, you know, this is 2%, that's like 3, 4, 5. And I get that may not sound like a lot because there's different mythics, right? But if we keep into consideration how many groups of mythics we had with total of 4 or 5, we had 3 different mythics that had 4 of each. 4 different types of mythics that had 5 or more. 2 that were 6 or more, 4 that were 7 or more. I mean, you start getting up to that range, you start being like, wow, I got 6 of these mythics in 24 boxes. 4 of them, 2 of those being reprints, was 4 or more out of 24 boxes. And 1 was 3. So, that being Cavern of Souls. So, you tell me what you think of the numbers, what you think of the math. But when it's all said and done, I think it needs to be fixed, because if they do box mapping like they say they do, then clearly this is on purpose. So, with all that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Put some comments down below. I'll try to improve them as much as I can, as fast as I can. Let's have a serious conversation, but as always, be kind. And let's just use the facts, right? So, till next time, be kind, and hope to see you across from the game table. Later, players. Really hope I'm wrong, but this is Wizards, so I'm probably right.